never take off my gun belts.
Good thinking.
I need to follow you.
Well, Charlie, did you hurt your leg?
Yes, I slipped off the roof and I smacked down into a snowbank like a ton of stupidness. Second, I'm screaming, "Whoa, Nelly!" Next second, poof, I'm neck deep in snow.
Well, whatever possessed you to climb a roof in December?
There was a kite. What am I saying? There was a cat. A cat was on the roof, and I went after him. It was a tomcat yowled and what all, and I slept.
I thought maybe your club foot was gaining on you.
Oh, yeah. Dick went to Kansas City to be with his wife. He was here for a bit.
Hey, here's a cute story, Jess. Bobby was what, 11 or 12? You were by far his most admired personage. He couldn't get enough. It was Jesse this and Jesse that and Jesse this, from sunrise to sunset.
Fascinating.
No, there's more. This is cute. We're at supper, and Bob asks, "You know what size boot Jesse wears?"
Charlie, Jesse don't want to hear this.
Shush now, Bob, let me tell it. Bob says, "You know what size boot Jesse wears?" He says, 6.5. He says, "Ain't that a big little boot for a man 5 feet 8 inches tall?" I decided to josh him a little, you know, he being my kid brother and everything. So I said, "He doesn't have toes, is why."
That's a really stupid story.
Yeah, he's dangling his feet off a culvert and the catfish nibbled his toes off. Bob dashed himself trying to picture it.
That'd be a good joke if it was funny.
Isn't that a cute story, Jess?
Give you some more conversations, Bob.
I got one. This one's bad as a cracker jack. This is one about you.
Let Bob tell it.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
About how you and Jesse have so much in common.
Go on, Bob.
Yeah, come on, Bob. Tell us a story.
Nope.
Come
Nope.
on. Entertain Jesse. He's here. Come on.
Well, if you'll pardon my saying so, I guess it is interesting the many ways you and I overlap and whatnot. I mean, you begin with our daddies. Your daddy was a pastor at the New Hope Baptist Church, and my daddy was a pastor at the church in Excelsior Springs. You're the youngest of 3 James boys, and I'm the youngest of 5 Ford boys. Between Charlie and me is another brother, Wilbur here, with 6 letters in his name. And between Frank and you is another brother, Robert, also with 6 letters. And my Christian name is Robert, of course. You have blue eyes, I have blue eyes. You're 5 feet 8 inches tall, I'm 5 feet 8 inches tall. Oh, me, I must have had a list as long as your nightshirt when I was 12, but Seem to have lost some curiosities over the years.
Ain't he something? I'll tell you a story about that scalawag George Shepard. Shepard's one of Quantrell's lieutenants. He gave me a story much like Bob's, what bring him to mind. Going on about how much we had in common and so on, so we could get in the gang. How could I have known he had a grudge against me? How could I have known he was lying to get on my good side? I said, George, come on aboard. Glad to have you. George thought he was smart, except he wasn't. One morning, George rides into camp, and about 20 guns open up on him. See, old George, he only had one eye. You got two eyes. You want to get Jesse.
You ought not think of me like you do George Shepard.
You brought him to mind.
It's not very flattering.
Sure is good eating, Martha.
Oh, well, I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
How come George had a grudge against you? I said, how come George had a grudge against you?
Oh. Well, you see, George had a nephew he wanted me to protect during the war. This nephew had $5,000 on him. It just so happens he winds up killed, and someone swipes that money. And when George is in prison, someone whispers to him, it was Jesse James slit the boy's throat.
It's just mean gossip, was it?
Bob's the expert. Let's put it to him. Oh dear, I made him cranky.
I'm not cranky. I just been through this before is all. Once people get around and making fun of me, they don't ever let up.
Oh, someone's getting awful fresh over there.
Woman, shut your face for once.
Whoa. Now, I don't want you to skip off up to your room and pout without knowing why I come by for this visit.
Why'd you come by? So you could tell us how sorry you are you had to slap our cousin Albert around?
I come by to ask if one of you two forwards care to ride with me in a journey or two. I guess we both agree it ought to be Charlie. You've been acting sort of testy.